Look, why don't we go back to the cabin and rehearse? Rehearse yourself. I'm going back to town. Laura, wait a second. Help, wait. Barty pleaded. Professor Finch, ever the opportunist, spotted Jasper. Oh, there you are. Oh, Sarah, am I glad to see you. Unzip me, please. I thought you'd never ask, Sarah purred. Hi, little man. Guess what I've got here for you. Professor Finch held up a basket. Strawberries? But that's impossible. Where'd you find them? Jasper asked. At the general store down the hill. I never eat strawberries without cream. That's the way I like them too. A deal's a deal. Wait a second. Where do I go? Leave me alone. Alone. With nobody to wake me up. Sleepy time, bye-bye here. Oh, no, why me? The next morning, back at the Gilded Lily, Penny woke up with a groan. Do what? What's happening? Nothing, nothing, nothing. We're home. We don't want to wake you. Call a doctor. No, you don't need a doctor. You just need to sleep. I need a doctor. We'll take care of you. You know those leaves I wrapped around me? Yeah. Poison oak. What? Jasper, covered in an angry red rash, groaned, realizing his sleepy time leaves had been a very bad idea indeed. The chaos, it seemed, would always find them, no matter how far they ran. Copy 10. The Gilded Cage. A farce of fates and flatmates. Asterisk, asterisk. Prologue. The Ballad of Seagull's Perch. Asterisk, asterisk. The whimsical coastal town of Seagull's Perch was renowned for its perpetually misty mornings, the briny scent of the ocean, and, most notably, the Gilded Cage. This wasn't some opulent aviary, but a rather charming, if slightly dilapidated, Victorian brownstone. Its gingerbread trim was peeling like a sunburnt tourist, and its bay windows, though grand. Yet, within its walls resided a trio whose lives, much like the building itself, were a delightful blend of aspiration and charming disarray. There was Jasper Jazzy Finch, a culinary prodigy with a flair for the dramatic, whose aspirations of becoming a world-renowned chef often clashed with his current reality of juggling odd jobs and deciphering takeout menus. Then there was Juniper June Evergreen, the pragmatic, artistically inclined florist, whose grounded nature often served as the anchor for the apartment's more buoyant personalities. And finally, the effervescent, perpetually optimistic Coral Corey Bloom, a ray of sunshine in human form, whose unique brand of logic and wide-eyed innocence could either solve a problem or, more often, create an entirely new, more elaborate one. Their landlord, Professor Alistair Fumblebottom, a man whose sartorial choices often leaned towards tweed, and whose disposition hovered somewhere between perpetually perplexed and profoundly peeved, viewed their unconventional living arrangement. A single male chef, sharing an apartment with two delightful young women, with a suspicion usually reserved for alien invasions or spontaneous combustion. He was convinced, despite all evidence to the contrary, that shenanigans were afoot. This particular morning, the Gilded Cage hummed with the usual pre-dawn cacophony. A faint, off-key hum emanated from Corey's bedroom. June was already meticulously arranging a bouquet of exotic hydrangeas in the living room. And Jasper, well, Jasper was in the kitchen, wrestling with an ancient toaster, convinced it held the secrets to a perfectly crisp crumpet. Asterisk, asterisk. Part 1. The Shower Curtain, Calamity and Concussion. Chaos, asterisk, asterisk. Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you. Corey's voice, a cheerful, slightly nasal warble, drifted from the bathroom, where the kisses are, hers, and, probably two, June, who had just managed to coax a particularly stubborn Crimson Rose into submission, sighed. Corey, darling, must you serenade the entire building? Professor Fumblebottom might think we're running a clandestine opera company, but it's our theme song, Corey chirped, oblivious. It needs pizzazz. Come and dance on our floor. Take a step that is new. We've a lovable space that needs your face. Jasper, having finally defeated the toaster, which, in retaliation, had incinerated his crumpet, poked his head into the living room. Lovable space? Corey, the bathroom looks like a swamp after a particularly aggressive alligator wrestling match. Are you done with that shower curtain yet? My hot shower dreams are fading faster than a ghost in a fog bank. Almost, Corey called back. It's just tricky. June, can you help me with this? It's all scumbly. Scumbly? June raised a perfectly sculpted eyebrow. I believe the word you're looking for is creased. Corey, and no, I'm rather occupied with these prize-winning hydrangeas. Jasper, as long as you're here, why don't you lend a hand? Jasper, who considered anything involving plumbing a direct affront to his culinary sensibilities, grimaced. Me? In the bathroom? With times her asterisk? Professor Fumblebottom will have a conniption fit the size of a whale. Just then, a sharp rap echoed through the apartment. Hi, honeys, I'm home, Jasper bellowed, a mischievous glint in his eye. Why didn't you knock first? Because we might not have been decent. June shot back, already anticipating the landlord's inevitable intrusion. It's all right, I looked first to make sure, Jasper declared, completely missing the point. Another, more insistent, series of knocks followed. This time, a booming voice accompanied them. Ahem, Fumblebottom here. Open up, you, theatrical tenants. June clapped a hand to her forehead. Speak of the devil, and he appears, usually with a freshly starched shirt and a new grievance. Jasper, quickly, help Corey with the curtain. I need to get something out of the oven. Jasper blinked. Wait, when did you take up cooking? I haven't, June retorted, pointing to a small, lacy garment draped over a chair. I've got some delicates drying. Just hand me the new curtain, Jasper. Then you can go, okay? No, June, I'll help. Jasper, ever the chivalrous and slightly dramatic hero, strode towards the bathroom. I'll get it. He opened the door to find Corey wrestling with a plastic shower curtain that seemed determined to remain a crumpled, unyielding mess. Oh, hi, Professor Fumblebottom, Corey chirped, peering around Jasper. It's nice to see you. The professor, a man whose face was perpetually set in a grimace that suggested he'd just bitten into a particularly sour lemon, adjusted his spectacles. Don't get your hopes up, Miss Bloom. This is not a social call. Today, I'm wearing my landlord hat, and I want to see the man of the house, unless he's painting his toenails. He peered suspiciously at Jasper. Finch, what are you doing in the asterisk, inner sanctum, asterisk? Jasper is in the bathroom, Professor, June interjected smoothly, appearing at the doorway. Would you excuse us for a moment? Surely, Fumblebottom huffed, though his eyes lingered on the partially open bathroom door, with an intensity that suggested he expected to witness a bare-knuckle boxing match. Inside, Jasper, attempting a suave maneuver, leaned in conspiratorially to Corey. Then we can get it on. Corey, bless her innocent heart, giggled. Maybe so, Jasper countered, already regretting his choice of words. But girls are better at this than boys. He gestured to the tangled curtain. Come on, Corey. A little less talk and a little more action, okay? Okay, you do your part, I'll do mine, Corey declared, holding up a corner of the curtain. I don't think it'll reach. Of course not. You've got to unfold it first, Jasper exclaimed, wrestling with the plastic. Outside, Professor Fumblebottom, whose ears were apparently calibrated to detect the faintest hint of impropriety, was practically glued to the door. Professor Fumblebottom? Professor Fumblebottom, what are you doing? June's voice was laced with a mixture of exasperation and dread. Never mind what I'm doing, Fumblebottom snapped, his eyes wide with a mixture of horror and morbid fascination. What are they doing? I heard, Rooba-doob-doob-ba come hop in my tub. I heard all of it. June sighed, pinching the bridge of her nose. You heard all of what? Just then, Jasper emerged from the bathroom, looking utterly bewildered. What is going on in here? Fumblebottom, his face a mask of triumph, pointed a trembling finger at Jasper. Aha! How'd you get your clothes on so fast? Don't act so innocent, Finch. I know what's what. Excuse me, Professor. What is he talking about? June asked, genuine.